Hey, what's up guys, Jaeky here. Today we're going to be going over crosshair placement, how you can improve it, and common mistakes that people make regarding crosshair placement. Do you ever feel like your aim is super solid and you feel like your crosshair placement is on point until somebody actually peeks you and you realize that, oh, my crosshair placement was actually horrible, and you end up dying? Everyone always says to aim head level, and you know that that's what you're supposed to do. But when the moment actually comes, your crosshair is either too high, too low, or it's nowhere near where they're swinging into you. So today we're going to be breaking down some of the core elements of crosshair placement, and I'm also going to give you guys some drills that you can do, as well as some practice routines to help sharpen your crosshair placement. Obviously, crosshair placement is super important. I would say it's one of the core fundamentals in terms of mechanics. It goes hand in hand with your movement and raw aim. A lot of people, when they think of having good aim, they think of flicks and they think of, flicking and hitting your shot accurately. And while that's an important part of having good mechanics and good aim, I would actually say that the fundamental is actually crosshair placement, and that's what's going to be securing your kills 90% of the time. So if you're completely unfamiliar with crosshair placement, basically what it is just aiming head level and aiming where somebody is going to be peeking into your crosshair. And you've probably heard this time and time again. Everyone always says to aim at head level, but nobody really explains how to consistently aim at head level. Head level can change depending on distance to the target, as well as the enemy's elevation, your own elevation, and your own positioning as well. So when people say aim head level, it's very vague, and they don't really explain that head level actually changes depending on how you're holding the angle. For example, if I'm standing down here, head level is very different than if I'm standing up on this staircase, right? Because of the elevation change. So one thing you can actually use to help you determine head level no matter where you are is actually environmental markings on the map. What I mean by this is, for example, this line right here. The bottom of this line is roughly head level, and so I would just use this as a marker for where I should put my crosshair, regardless of what elevation I'm on. Other markers are all around the map as well. For example, some of these lines on Gen right here determine where head level is. So right around here is going to be head level, right on this line. And so once you play the maps enough, you're going to start to notice these different environmental markings that you can actually use as a guide to put your crosshair. And then obviously you don't want to be thinking about this 24/7. And once you actually get used to it and you're used to putting your crosshair on these markings, it kind of just becomes like a subconscious thing that you do, and you really don't even actively think about it. It's just something that's in the back of your head. So one exercise that I would highly recommend you do if you need help practicing this is literally just do what I'm doing right now. Load into a custom game and start walking around the map, making sure that you're trying to put your crosshair on head level and taking note of any environmental markings that you can use as sort of a reference point. The second point, which